Welcome back. Coming up next, more Team League action presented by the NASL. Boom! I nailed it.
Boom!
That,
Did you
Didn't get tongue-tied that time. Did not get tongue-tied that time. So happy. And we have a trivia question for you guys. So if you would like to win an NASL poster, tell us who was the third player to make themselves onto the roster of Team Root back when Team Root was being run by CatZ and company. I can only say CatZ because I don't want to give any other hints. So the third player on the roster, first person to let us know wins a poster from the NASL.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool stuff. And I hope somebody's watching that so that we can pick out a winner. Game 3 gonna be. Well, actually, I don't know. Or
Okay,
not game 3.
OG and Dratcher, you win. Message on NASL TV.
There you go. OG and Dratcher, whoever you are. Message NASL TV via Twitch.
Dalton, hey, can this guy get a poster? He said Gian, which was, when we started Root, it was Drewy and me, and then Gian was an admin that we brought in to help out. He didn't stay long, but that was yeah. We said player though because before the break I was saying, well, if we don't say player, then there's an admin that was before QXC. I didn't think anyone would guess it though. So
that guy gets bonus points. So give him a poster too. So that dude can send his message to NASL. We'll get a poster out to you as well, Mr. Root Lover. Looks like a TVT. So eSuba team most likely going to be repped by Preddy. I'll let these guys know they can start when ready.
Okay.
Looks like it is Preddy.
I gotta look at this pizza and make sure it's good.
Wait, don't go. Need Andre. And as soon as Andre gets in here, we'll start the game. CatZ, what is all that ungodly amount of noise?
There's ungodly amounts of noise.
No, it's gone now.
Box.
Oh, that was the sound of you opening the pizza box?
I hope not. You're making it sound a lot worse than it was, so no, I don't think so.
It was really loud.
Yeah, it couldn't be me.
Alright, fair enough. Okay. So actually something I noticed, I was following the thread on Team Liquid, and somebody was being like, "Oh, Bitter, how can you not recognize the map TPW Artifice?" I commented earlier that I didn't recognize this map, and I was thinking in the back of my head, gee, this sure looks like a Map of the Month map, but I didn't want to be wrong. So it turns out it is. So it's really cool seeing this awesome community map. Is Andre in? Yes, he is. Rock and roll. Countdown has begun. Preddy versus Kawhi. The score is 3-1. And if Kawhi wins, that means Team LighT will advance, and eSuba is out. Right now, we are in the round of 32, perhaps. We're in the round of 32. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. We'll be playing up into the end of the round of 16 tonight, so we'll show the entirety of this series and maybe one or two more. Well, definitely at least one more, maybe even two more. So lots more StarCraft coming up as the night is still very young. Have to give a huge shout out and special thanks to all of our sponsors: Azo, iBuyPower, Kingston HyperX, and Cooler Master. NASL could not happen without the support of these amazing companies. So anytime you guys are out buying new gear, be sure to look those excellent companies up. So, CatZ, we have Preddy spawning as the blue Terran down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and Kawhi up at the top left. It's going to be a TVT, and I think in these positions especially, this game could go on for quite some time.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like you were saying, I love the fact that NASL brings in community-made maps into this, because it's really nice. And you know, the community has made some amazing maps. Like Ohana, the map we played before, that's one of my absolute favorites. And yeah, it was made for as a community map. Map of the month,
gives me the chance to talk about Map of the Month, which is which is I mean, it's a custom mapping tournament. So if players want to, or if mappers want to get their map out there and have a chance to get some exposure on their work, every month we do hold the Map of the Month tournament. For the month of January, we've received over, I think, 40 map submissions. We'll be taking out the top 5 and running a tournament on those top 5 maps. We're giving away gear to the winning tournament player and to the winning mappers. i7 processors, solid state drives, lots of really nice stuff. So if you're interested in the custom mapping community, or if you're just interested in playing and having a chance to win a really, really nice processor, go check it out. We'll be announcing the signups early next week.
That's sweet. I want a processor.
Well, then you should come play in our tournament.
I will. I will play in your tournament, MrBitter. I love processors.
They're pretty fantastic devices, if I may say so.
Yeah.
So, looks like gasless opening for Kawhi. He's going to be fast expanding. And Preddy has no such intentions. He's got a gas down. He's already building a factory. I have to feel like he wants to get a Banshee out.
Yeah, it looks that way. Although he hasn't taken a second gas yet. So, don't know.
You can't really go Hellion expand in TVT. I mean, you can, but this doesn't look like a map that would be very friendly to it.
Yeah, perhaps one base tank push like we saw from Rain. Well, kind of. He kind of expanded, but he never expanded. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Banshee, but doesn't he need a second gas for that?
Maybe he got gas before Rax. I didn't see the exact time. No, he's building a Hellion and no starport. Huh. I don't know, man.
Maybe it is a Hellion expand. I mean, he's saving up the money for an expansion.
Yeah, he's got the money. He's got an awful lot of gas. What are you going to do with all that gas?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
No, looks like he is going to be throwing out a command center. Almost. So, good fight for Kawhi Rice. Had a slightly better position. Hellion shows up. That's going to tip the balance for Preddy. So Kawhi does lose all those Marines. Command center is going down, as well as more Hellions and more Marines on Preddy's side of the map. Oh, look at that SCV bringing the repair pane. Hellion apart right there.
Nice snipe of that Marine. Oh, almost killed the SCV. Nice job by Kawhi Rice.
Yeah, cute. And now with the bunker up there, he'll be nice and safe. Still no... Okay, there's finally a starport going down for Preddy. I still think he's going to make a Banshee. I don't understand why he would have that much gas if that wasn't in the cards.
Maybe he'll drop. Kawhi Rice scans, and he has to be confused right now. There's a reactor going up on the barracks.
Yeah, and a tech lab on the factory. So, yeah, indeed. Kawhi had a much faster expand, or I guess command center, but he hasn't been able to do a whole lot with it. He's just kind of building SCVs and dropping double mule. 27 harvesters to 26, so very, very close economically.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Kawhi hasn't pulled ahead much more in the SCV count.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say this is even better for Preddy because he's going to mine out his main a little bit slower. Marines do come down for Kawhi Rice and chase away these Hellions.
Yeah, killed one Hellion there from one Marine, definitely a good trade. And now he's going to go into mass Marine production and get him +1 already, Kawhi Rice is. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Kawhi always has such nice control. Just watching him split Marines against the couple of Hellions there is just cool to see. Siege tanks in production now. I guess there's not going to be a Banshee. I was so wrong. More barracks going down for Preddy.
Yeah, there's a Viking out as well, and now he's starting to produce just medevacs of the 1-star food. So it's going to be a pretty standard transition by Preddy, just a little bit weird of an opener.
Yeah. Such a weird opener. He mines so much gas.
Yeah, I guess it's just for this. Yeah, exactly. He's, I don't know. It's confusing, but it kind of makes sense now. I mean, he was never too behind, and he expanded at a reasonable time. He was always safe, he applied some pressure, it didn't work, and he's still just fine in the game. So
yeah, everything seems to have lined up.
We don't. Yep, it's kind of like, have you seen that temple build in ZVZ lately?
Maybe. Is it Banelings?
No, there's like a temple pressure build that, you know, you apply a lot of pressure with it, or it's either 9-pool or temple. You can do either. But well, my point is, at the end of that, whether you do damage or not, you're only one drone behind if they went 14-14. And then it's super confusing for the person going 14-14 because you think you're more ahead. And that's pretty much like the most common build in the Korea server right now in ZVZ. It's, at least, and when I say that, I mean for the last 3 days. Like, you know, the last 3 days everyone's doing that. It's good.
Have you started using it yet?
No, I don't do it. I've been trying to figure out the counter to it, and there's no counter to it. So I'll just take my one drone advantage because I never hatch first anyways in CVZ. So I'll just go 14-14, and every time they do it, I'm one drone ahead. It's far from game 1, but it's something.
Yeah, every little advantage helps.
Yep.
So. Still sounds like something fun. I might have to check that one out. Find some replays.
I might practice it just for a tournament or something like that, because if you haven't seen the build before, it's super deceiving. You know, like, it's like, okay, I just stopped like the early pool. I'm ahead. I'm gonna play safe now, and if you do that, you lose because you're not that far ahead.
Does it transition into more pressure, or does it transition into expand?
It transitions into expand. I mean, there's an old 9-pool that
yeah, like 9-pool into roaches is what I'm kind of thinking
or into Baneling Bust. Yeah, that's why it's so deceiving, because you block both with the ramp with both queens and then just transition into expansion.
Oh, Kawhi gonna try to force a big fight here. We're talking about ZVZ. Meanwhile, these guys are playing a sick TVT, and Kawhi Rice is gonna manage to kill every single siege tank. Give that Marine the Medal of Honor. Oh no! Friendly fire.
Yeah, Freddy had the sickest first tank volley. Like, he killed like 40 Marines at once. Like 7 or something, but it was so sick. Like, can't believe Kawhi Rice even stood a chance that fight.
Yeah, managed to pull it out. But Preddy taking a third base at the same time and still has a sizable army and actually a supply lead. Worker-wise, very even still, 51-50. And if we look at the army supplies, 44-33. Yeah, Preddy with a pretty substantial advantage there. Some of that, of course, is going to be in those medevacs. It doesn't look like Kawhi has really started adding much. No, he hasn't made a single medevac yet. What? Yeah, first medevac just now about to pop out for Kawhi Rice.
Kawhi Rice does have the Viking with the more health. Go ahead.
I do like the position that Preddy has. He's got a very forward position. He can rally right up to this. Well, Kawhi Rice, being very smart, is going to go around and set up a little bit of flank.
Yeah,
but Preddy,
like, right, you can't take that
advanced position.
Watchtower.
That's actually so.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
we're pretty good at this. At talking at the same time. We're good at it. You go.
I'm sorry, Paula. I was just
me. You both times. Like, I'm sorry, Ben.
I was just so impressed with Kawhi recognizing that the tower is actually what was making Preddy's position so strong, and then denying it.
And I was saying the same thing at the same time. With different words.
This is what we were talking about, man. Partners, great minds think alike.
Yep.
Hey, what am I thinking about right now?
Chicken.
Nailed it.
I knew it. All right, so Kawhi Rice now with better positioning. It's always better to be the aggressor, I think. And
another big fight. This time it's Preddy who looks like he's going to come out on top of his Marines, doing a good job cutting through the tanks of Kawhi, and the medevac's really helping out a lot for Preddy. Still, supply-wise, very even. Kawhi Rice even with a small lead, 110-106, but there's a third base for Preddy, and it's going to be a major player very soon in this game.
Definitely, and that was definitely the right call by Preddy. I think if Kawhi Rice just established himself in that position that he was, that would have been incredibly hard for Preddy to play from then. because it cuts from his potential fourth, and it just makes it so that Kawaii could have probably just elevated into Preddy's base and killed him.
Yeah,
that was nice by Preddy. Good snap decision making.
I absolutely agree. But look at Kawhi expanding right behind this. He's not as far behind as I thought. Especially given that the worker count is so similar, 67 SCVs to 70. Army supply 66 to 64, worker supply 70 to 70. Oh my God, these guys are so evenly matched, and it's just going to be positional. Who can get that small advantage from being slightly more well positioned, and how is this game going to ultimately unfold? Tank Marine against Tank Marine, man. Very, very, very close game.
Yep. Kawaii is going for a drop here. Preddy's gonna spot it though with one Marine at the watchtower that he has there.
Yeah. Also, sensor tower up for. That's Kawhi's sensor tower. That gives him so much range of vision. I guess it's kind
of really
like
nice sensor tower. It's kind of like, but it's strange where he's positioned considering the positioning of the sensor tower. Usually, when you have a sensor tower, you want to put your units on the opposite side. It's, you know, the whole point of it is so that you don't have to cover all the ground that he could be attacking from. So yeah, he should be positioned where Preddy is attacking right now because, you know, the sensor tower should tell him everything else.
Exactly. It tells him if he needs to move. Preddy gets a nice position here, and look at the supplies. All of a sudden, Preddy up to 176, Kawhi down to about 150. That drop has not made its way to Preddy's third base yet. The Marines and Siege Tanks. Well, Kawhi's got enough of a position that I don't think Preddy can really push this too much further. But he has taken a nice spot here in the top half of the map.
Yeah, definitely. I think Preddy could still hit the orbital command if he inched forward with that couple of tanks, but Kawhi is always scanning. And he's being really thorough about that. He doesn't want anything to move.
I like this. We've got some more Marines and tanks moving forward to try to retake this tower. And it is... it's going to be close, but actually no, Preddy will win this fight because a couple more tanks of Kawhi Rise. And now Preddy is really taking nice position. He has an angle on the third base. He has an angle on the natural. Kawhi Rise is going to try to break those units up at the third. There's a lot of siege tanks, though, and I don't know if it's going to be able to.
Doesn't look that way. This could be game. Stimming a lot of Marines forward, but there's... needs to load up into... There we go.
That's exactly what he needs to do.
Take care of those siege tanks, or Forzen and Siege. I don't like... Oh!
He went forward! Oh! It's the medevac!
Oh my God, this was so hard to watch this engagement.
Oh man,
Why pulled back those Marines to deal with the other forces of Preddy that were moving there. But by the time we looked at them, like he was already there. Oh my God.
Preddy Marines, man. They're accomplished sprinters in the off season. And look at Kawhi. He's actually using his command center to spot right now. Preddy continuing to stream up from either side. Supply is still kind of close, 160 to 140, but a very, very tough position. And look at this second prong attack from Preddy pushing up into the natural of Kawhi Rice, coming from every side. A couple tanks on siege there in the back. Kawhi Rice needs to reposition in inner siege mode. Looks like he's going to be a little...
Oh, look at the natural, though.
Yep.
Preddy pushing up the natural as well, pushing everywhere. Preddy is just everywhere. I do not like the fact that he pushed the third without any Marine support when he has like 30 medevacs just sitting around, you know? By that I mean like 3. But
finally,
really
Kawhi's drop. Finally, Kawhi's drop makes his way to Preddy's third base, but Preddy's so on top of things, spots it immediately. Man, Preddy is good at this game. I was really sad when I lost to him on ladder, but now I'm feeling glad that I was even able to match with him. Yeah,
he's really good. At the same time, I think he's being overly aggressive this game, or he pushed. Yeah, I think he did a little bit too much this game. I could not have dealt with this, that's for sure. You know, but Kawhi Rice was able to deal with all of these multi-pronged attacks, and that's put him back in the game.
Yeah, you're actually completely right. Kawhi finally managed to clean up that force at his third base, and after the fact, it's 167 to supply to 147, and another drop now by Kawhi. Going to pick off a couple SCVs. So Preddy's played a great game, but it looks like it may be starting to unravel.
Yep. I think he pushed his advantage a little bit too much, and he definitely had an advantage when he won that fight in at the middle-ish area. But yeah, right now he's kind of just pushing that, or he pushed that advantage too much. Now he's lost his positioning in his supply lead, and he's continuing to push. And I don't know if I like that, but actually,
yeah.
It's kind of the right thing. I mean, he cannot allow Kawhi Rice to take that fourth.
Kawhi has so many siege tanks. There's no really denying this fourth base. Oh, Kawhi's actually getting aggressive, and he's going to push forward and make a fight happen. Tanks make short work of the lone siege tank that Preddy had in position, and Kawhi does lock down that fourth base easily.
Both players.
Same time.
Look at the upgrades. Preddy's a 3-2, and Kawhi's a 2-2. Like, upgrading throughout the entire game, like, regardless of everything that's been going on. You know, it's it's crazy.
Impeccable play. These guys are so good. I think, man, I'm just so impressed on both sides of things. Look how similar everything is. Like, the expansions look almost identical. Even the sensor tower positioning, virtually the same.
Yep.
These guys are playing so evenly matched. Oh, smart move by Preddy to pick off that medevac. That means he'll be able to run up with a couple more Marines and maybe clean up this dropping force.
Now Preddy taking back the lead along with his fourth. So Kawhi Rice now with his fourth and adding 2 command centers. He wants to get back in the lead economically. And yeah, I mean it's. Oh, we could see a big engagement here, Benny.
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to take shape. These guys are drawing the line in the sand, saying, all right, I dare you to cross this one. And finally, they both say nope.
Yeah,
nope.
Kawhi Rice a ton of tanks though. Preddy has a lot less tanks, but a lot more Marines and a lot better, or slightly better upgraded Marines. At 3-3 now, Kawhi Rice working on 3-3, almost there actually. So they're both going to be on 3-3 in just a little bit here.
You know, with this big difference in Marines, I would like to see Preddy doing something, using that extra mobility, and it looks like he's going to start. We see a little bit of a hit squad moving up the bottom half of the map. They're going to take this tower back from Kawhi, and maybe even push up towards the natural node. Looks like that's not what they had planned.
No, picked up a tank, 2 tanks. Wow, so good.
Beautiful play there. And at the same time, going to push up and intercept this little hit squad that was trying to make its way down towards the 4th base and 5th base of Preddy. Oh, Preddy, your siege tanks!
Yeah, he's going to win. A little bit unfortunate. Oh!
Things really starting to heat up here. This is a nice position for Preddy. He's got the high ground. That one medevac is kind of giving enough vision to Kawhi for the push to basically stop moving on Preddy's side of the map. Still so very close. Lots of Marines in production on both sides. Double siege tank in production on both sides. +3 vehicle weapons in production on both sides. Oh, SCV's going to come out. That's going to initiate a big fight here. A lot more Marines for Preddy, but the tank number vastly superior for Kawhi Rice. And look at that supply lead. 199 to 164. Kawhi Rice could go right now and maybe have a chance of doing some big damage. And is he going to realize it?
Those SCVs almost killed 2 tanks. That was crazy. I would love to see either one of these teams start producing Vikings. To be honest, there's like there's so many medevacs out, and they're just spotting each other with medevacs. I'll get Vikings and maybe a Cloak Banshee. Wouldn't be too bad.
Oh yeah, I think a Banshee would be a really nice move. Like 2-3 Vikings and just 1 Banshee. It can be so annoying.
Their economies are so good, and they have to realize they're going to be maxed here in a second, so they should just be adding cost-efficient units that are going to give them like a small edge, like, like 1 Cloak Banshee. Sure, it's expensive. You can afford it.
But that's something we see players like Puma do all the time. Now, we have a small worker difference. Preddy did just sacrifice a few SCVs. Gives him 50 SCVs to 60, which means his max is going to be a little bit stronger than Kawhi's. What was that 1 Marine doing? Did you see that?
No. Where?
He was charging towards the tank line and not succeeding. Drop coming from Kawhi down towards the 5th base of Preddy. Just a very, very crazy TVT unfolding here. Look at the money that Kawhi has. He can definitely afford to remax a couple of times. Pretty not sitting on the same kind of economy.
He has $1,400.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can you remax with $1,400? You couldn't do that. Like, you couldn't remax off of McDonald's. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, man,
he's not that rich.
He can make 1 billion Marines. Like, he can fight and then rebuild. Oh, but we do have the drop coming down into the 4th base.
Yeah, very nice drop. They should, yeah, they should start. Look, orbital command for Kawhi Rice at his 5th.
Covered tanks in the middle of the map. Big fight here, Marines and siege tanks against Marines and siege tanks, and it looks like Pretty actually getting the better of this exchange. Kawhi does get beaten back, but it's actually not that bad. 150 to 140 after that fight. Actually, I totally lied.
It was because all of those Marines left behind by Kawhi Rice. Like, I don't know why he didn't bring them. I'm also surprised that Pretty just pushed into them, didn't care, and
yeah, and actually Pretty's right now closing the gap here. We got a ton of siege tanks in Kawhi's natural. Kawhi Rice has to make something happen, but I don't know if it's meant to be. Pretty with 150 supply, Kawhi down to 110, and the production facilities of Kawhi starting to come under fire. Counterattack down into the 4th base.
This rally is so messed up. Kawhi Rice just lost so many Marines
to a bad rally.
Yep. Really nice position for Pretty. So finally he fixed this rally. But yeah, this is definitely a tough spot for Kawhi Rice.
Yeah, it might just be too late. Tanks really shelling everything from that nasty position just outside of Kawhi's natural. Kawhi does have that squad out on the map. Does he know that there is a base in the bottom right? Let's check his vision. He knows it's there. So yeah, he is going to go push down to it. He can probably take out one of Pretty's last mining bases.
Yeah, if Kawhi somehow just holds this. Oh! He's not paying attention. He should have killed that medevac.
Wow.
If Kawhi Rice can somehow hold this push, he'll be in a decent position. He did take down the 4th. Now 30 orbital commands for Pretty though.
Man, look at all those mules at the bottom right base for Pretty. His income's going to be fine, and he is just freely able to produce 10, 15 Marines at once. Kawhi, he's hanging around, and he has expansions all across the top half of the map. It's the fact that his production is separated from the rest of it.
Exactly. Like, look at that hit squad right, Pretty. There's absolutely nothing that Kawhi is going to be able to do about this.
Yep. Stimming and running forward are Pretty's Marines, and that is going to give him free access to all of Kawhi's remaining bases. And I think that actually could be the killing blow.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. GG from Kawhi. Makes the series 3-2.
That was a back and forth game.
Yeah, excellent game. Excellent, very high level game between Kawhi and Pretty. So 3-2 still in favor of Team LighT. Pretty is, I guess, the last hope for the eSuba team. And who is next? Who's next for Team LighT?
I know.
Maybe. Wait, who?
I know.
Who? Share. Tell us.
I'm not sure if yeah, I guess we can, huh? We're the casters. Heaven's Light.
That's your prediction?
No, that's.
And it makes.
Yeah, sure. What? That's my prediction. It will make me look better if it's a prediction.
Oh, you actually know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were in chat like, "Hey, you go next," and they were like, "Okay."
And he's the Zerg player?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now,
so we get a bit of a
we watched 2 games of Heavens last week. One was a really, really, really impressive CVT. The next one was a CVT where he fell a little bit behind, and then he started cracking under the pressure. So I think he's a really, really good player. He just needs to fix a few things. But if we can see him play the game that he wants to play, he's ridiculous.
Cool. Well, he's going to have a tough mountain to climb, and Pretty is he's already demonstrated just how good he can be. So we'll see if he can keep it up. Heaven's Light versus Pretty in the 6th game of this best of however many. What is that? No, yeah, it is best of 7. That's right, best of 7. God, I'm so good at math. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to kick it to a short commercial. 3-2 in favor of LighT, and when we come back, we'll see if they can close it out or if eSuba is going to stay alive on the back of Pretty. Don't go anywhere.